Yes, what's going on, good people? It's your boy LuxuReid, and you're now tuned into a very special episode of Live Lyrics in a Den. And this is going to be a story of something that I did in my life that was beneficial, very beneficial for me. And this episode is entitled The Disconnect. Man, a lot of y'all know me as K Reed, or a lot of y'all know me as LuxuReid or Kev. Um, that is all encompassed with who I am as Kevin. You know, I'm a rapper, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter. I act sometimes. Producer, screenwriter. Um, I get a little bit, drippy with the fashion. So heavy in the fashion. Um, Shit, what else I do? But that's just that part, you know. But Kevin is also a kids fitness coach, and I'm a professional mentor for children. I finally, the disconnect kind of led me to this point in my life. Um, I was working in a place um, for about the better half of almost a decade. Almost a decade. Um, it. I guess I stayed that long because of comfortability, um, being comfortable in some place. I think my first job before that, I was there almost like 7.5 years. So it started to come to a point where it was all just like swelling up my brain. I was just like, is this shit real? What's like, oh my god, I was a fucking wreck. I was a fucking wreck. I would come to work crying, fucking crying. I'm like, oh my god. My body hurting, you know. I was drinking shit. Man, I don't drink as much now as I did back then, because boy, I was putting back like pop, 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 pop. Man, I just, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I started to get to a point in my life. It's just like, is this all that life has to offer? Like, is this it? Is there no more? And then my mind just is like warped. I'm just like, there is more. You gotta break. You gotta break. It's like running a football, route. It's like going straight, but boom, boom. You gotta break. You gotta get to the other route, because a different route you gotta run. You run straight, then you gotta. I could teach kids football too as well. So that's another part of who I am. I needed my mind was just breaking. My mind was breaking. Like I said, being emotional, coming into work, to the point of getting anxiety attacks. like, like oh shit, like catch your breath type joints. Um, Panic attacks, just I realized every time I started to come into work, like it was a cloudy day. Like, it was just so weird, so weird. And the minute I took notice of that, like I actually saw this shit, like every day a cloudy day. I was like, yo, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Gotta get the fuck out of here. But I still wasn't pushing myself hard enough. Still wasn't. As much as I know. A situation happened at work that started to lead up to the thing called the disconnect. I encountered something that really tested my integrity. It really tested the quality and the caliber of my integrity as a man, especially as a black man. This young lady asks, like, yo, are you a supervisor? I'm like, no, what's up? How can I help you? It's like, I'm with these people. I'm helping them. They're blind. I just told this man that works with me, my fellow colleague, I just told him of this situation. Don't yell at them. And he proceeds to do exactly what she told him not to do. They must have had words, and he said, yeah, get out of here, ghetto girl. I'm like, oh my God. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So that, yeah, besides the point. I've told that story already, but this is beeline to the disconnect. All that happened, I had to basically just, I had to tell him what I needed to tell him. And I stood on my stature and my integrity as a man. But as that happened, it was just weighing on my head. Then as weird shit started to happen, I just say, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to start going in when I felt like it. Because I put so much in there. I put so much energy, great energy into that building. And it was just like, enough was enough. Enough was enough. I decided, you know what? I'm not giving this place no energy no more. And I started coming in late. One day I didn't come in because I felt like I was in the Matrix. Legit felt like I was in the Matrix. And I said, alright, I'm gonna come in. I already knew what the consequences were. I knew it was either I'd be fired or laid off or suspended. That was the first time I did something like that, and I was just like, all right, I knew I was gonna get suspended. I walked in on a Sunday. They called me to the office. They said, hey, you're getting a week suspension. I said, okay. I took that week off. Was the most amazing time. Most amazing time. It was amazing. Amazing. Then I took off the day before I was supposed to come back. And that Monday, I wrote an email and said, I'm out of here. I quit. I'm resigning. I'm not coming back here. I knew that. I was like, I'm not coming back. And then I was I was in therapy as well at that time. So something that my therapist said stuck with me. And I got completely off the grid. It was like, dude, like I was up here. I pulled that plug out and said, off the grid. When the feeling of just being away from everything. Oh my God, it was I swear, if I would have grew wings that day that I quit that job, I would have. I would have been like Archangel out that motherfucker, like. But I started to stretch. I started to, my bones cracked because it was just so tired. And it was like, I felt like I grew taller the day that I quit that. And it was crazy because I said, fuck this, I'm out of here. I need to switch. I need some money. Like, I ain't dumb. I needed some money. So I said, let me get on that shit. Let me just search for something new. I already had it in my mind that in the future I was going to start mentoring children. I knew that. I felt that in my mind. It's just like, there's so many youth out here that have no guidance. Like, that may be going through something that I went through when I was young like them. At 12, I lost my dad. So that was tough, I got accepted to about 4 different schools, 4 different colleges. And I couldn't. I was just like, Dad just passed, like, Mom's here. I gotta help out. So that's, I knew I was going to be mentoring somebody that went through that and I could help guide them through that. And then 2 days after I quit that job, I got a job to work in a kid's fitness facility. Man, that was fun. Then I worked at a kids interactive museum. That was fun. I was putting on costumes. I was with the kids, man. They was having a ball. Made some connections with people over there. But they did some funny shit, and plus, I'm not dealing with the bullshit. So they did some funny style shit, and I had to come back. To something that I did not want to do. It's legal though. I'm not. I know that sounded a little crazy just now, but I do something very legal. But it was still, I felt what I felt when I worked that other job. It was just and now I'm a professional mentor for children in New York City. And that just brings a whole different light, you know. To be able to, be that was amazing. It's amazing. But the disconnect. I got off the grid. I deleted my Instagram. I deleted Facebook. I blocked everybody. Hell, I barely talked to my mom or my brother. I just needed to like be a ghost in the wind. I had to do that, but that was some of the most riveting time. But I knew I had to back integrate. I had to reintegrate myself into civilization after all this. Disconnect. I met people that I would have never met if I was still living a certain way of living. I met so many new different people over these past couple months, man. And the disconnect, it allowed me to be so much more enlightened on and take more advantage of the stuff I've been missing. It, you know, I needed to get away from friends. I needed to get away from family. I needed to get away from, social media and all that. But it was needed, man. I was on a low slope. Like I was going, whew, my mind, and I was going plummeting. Like it's like a spiral. It's just like it was going down, down, down. But I had to kick myself in the ass real quick. And the only way I could have done that is if I just had all the time to myself to deal with what I deal with. I had to have inner convos with myself. I had to, become spiritual, like talk to ancestors, you know, connect more with different people. I'm also that too. I could work a room like a motherfucker. I put money on that. I put money on that. I could work a room like a motherfucker. I needed to get that break. I needed to get that break to just get mental clarity. And I slowly came back, at the time, I was recording music for the last Green Line album titled The Green Jacket. I feel like is our most amazing um, project over these last 15, 16 years. Like I know we don't look like we've been doing this shit for about 20 years, but goddamn, we've been doing it. I wasn't in the right mindset to help with the rollout for the new album, man, and that's something that I sat with. It was like, yo, we worked so hard on this music, like just countless sessions. Like we crafted this, we did the we did the we sculpted that album. Like, that's like. I think the shit that we put out was Bushido because we cut the fuck up on that album. We cut up something different, boy. Whew. But I wasn't in the right mindset to do the rollout. Like I abandoned the team. And it's just like, damn, man. It was that's I had to sit on that and just I had to dig in my soul with that. Other personal issues, relationships, and it was tough. It was tough. And then I gave my own ass a kick. I started getting to the gym. Started Started just writing, just writing, just writing, just writing. I came up with fresher ideas, but my mind wasn't just focused on everything else besides what was the main entity, which is me. And, time went past and slowly been, getting back to who I was. Sometimes you just gotta give people a reintroduction of who you are now if they knew who you were back then before this whole thing that I did. This whole disconnect just brought in a new, it felt like it brought in a newer version of myself. Like, it's so fucking weird. Not without his flaws and whatnot. I still have my flaws. I know my flaws. But it's just to allow people to get a glimpse of who I am. Like I said, I'm a rapper, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm a producer, I'm a script writer, screenwriter, however you want to call it. I'm a comedian. I'm a bit of a fashion icon. I'm very creative. I'm also a kids fitness coach, and now I am a professional mentor for children. So once again, all that, the disconnect allowed me to put all that into a bowl, and now I'm here at this place right now, trying to be at ease in this crazy ass world that we living in. It's nuts. It's nuts. Fucking orange skies. Like, what? What? Oh my god. Damn, man. All I'm saying in this crazy world, just be sure of yourself. There's so much shit going on now. Just be sure within yourself and don't fake who you are for nobody. Nobody. Don't do that shit for nobody. Yeah. Uh, Whew. I need to get that out. Shit. Um. Yeah, man. Once again, it's your boy K Reed, Kev, LuxuReid. This is also Kevin, and this has been another episode of Live Lyrics and Den. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Shout out to the pops. Ah man, shout out to the flyness. You know what I mean? Nah. And the two words. Yes. Whoa.